Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we're back with another historic rebuild. Today, we have the 2009-2010 Chicago Bulls. So by no means were the Bulls anything special this season. They were exactly 500 at 41-41. They lost in the first round of the playoffs as an 8 seed to the 1-seeded Cavs. But at this point in time, something was going on in Chicago. They were building something up. Derrick Rose has already turned into a really, really special player. And the season after this, they actually went on to be the 1 seed. 162 games. Derrick Rose had his MVP season. So obviously we have a groundwork. We have a foundation today. And we're hoping to build upon that. Maybe rewrite history a little bit. See if we can get this Bulls team a championship. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comments section. I've been really enjoying doing these historic kind of throwback rebuilds. And honestly, it is a really good way to kind of kill time until 2K24 does come around. So anything else you guys really want to see, make sure to let me know down below in the comments section. And if you see something you want to see that somebody else commented, make sure to upvote that comment so I know a bunch of you guys do want to see it. But yeah, man, this is a Bulls team that obviously never got over that kind of final hump. Never ended up making a finals, but they were always really, really good and really entertaining to watch. Even as a young kid, I do remember that. So hopefully we can change some things up in terms of NBA history today. Get this Bulls team a championship. Let's get into it. And with that, we are here at the beginning of the 2009-2010 NBA season. Obviously, in real life, we had a rematch of the 2008 NBA Finals between the Celtics and the Lakers. This year, it did not go in my Celtics favor, but we're going to see what ends up happening because obviously, here in 2K, things can go a lot differently than they did in real life. So let's just dive into this roster. It is obviously a very interesting one. We have 21-year-old Derrick Rose, who is already a 90 overall. As I mentioned, this wasn't his MVP season. It was actually the year after this. Again, I fully do expect him to be playing at that very high, very elite level, even though he's only 21. Gennaro Pargo is our backup point guard. I feel like I've actually heard that name before, but again, at 30 years old and only a 75 overall, it's not a great option, so we will see. John Salmon's here as our starting shooting guard. He's an 80 overall at 29. We're going to see. Kirk Heinrich is here, pretty decent shooter. Then we also have Ernest McGuire, who is 40 years old, and if I had to take a guess, I would say this is probably not a real person. This dude looks like he should be serving me a beer at a bar, to be quite honest with you. Luol Deng here as our starting small forward. I don't really think that looks like Luol Deng too much, but nonetheless, he's 24 years old, 85 overall. He's the second highest overall on this team. I guess he can kind of say he's the second star we have, if you will. I believe this is James Johnson's rookie season, technically. He's only 22 years old. Hopefully a little bit of room for some development. He could potentially be a pretty key piece of this team down the line. I believe this is also Taj Gibson's rookie year. Is he really 24 in his rookie season? I find that hard to believe. I don't know. Maybe he played 4 years in college. I don't know that off the top of my head. But again, we're going to see if we can kind of maximize that potential. Taj Gibson ended up actually being pretty good for the Bulls. We have Tyrese Thomas here as well, 23 years old, and then Chris Richard. I don't know who that is. The center spot, Joakim Noah at that 83 overall. Joakim Noah has won a Defensive Player of the Year before in his career. And yeah, 24 years old at that 83 overall. Very serviceable center. He's also a very cheap center at this point in time. See how much money he's making. Brad Miller, 33 years old. Omar Ashik is here. And then Aaron Gray as well. So probably 2-3 centers that maybe all deserve minutes. Obviously, Joakim Noah is starting, but we will make a decision here between Brad Miller and Omar Ashik. So we'll figure that out. We might have 1 or 2 more trades. I'll see you guys with those moves. If not, I'll see you guys with the rotation. We're making a trade here with the Atlanta Hawks. We're sending them Chris Richard, Aaron Gray, and a future second-round pick for Atlanta's 2013 first-round draft selection and Jason Collins. Now, obviously, Chris Richard, Aaron Gray, neither of which were going to actually play for me, weren't going to be in the rotation, so a first-round pick for 2 guys that would have probably been DNP most nights feels like a win to me. So that's a good first trade. I'm TBD on what I want to do with a potential second trade. Obviously, we just acquired Jason Collins. He's not going to be playing for us. I do want to decide whether I want to keep both Ashik and Miller. Obviously, 4 overalls higher is not just a small jump. If it's 1 or 2, I can maybe sacrifice that, especially if the age is in favor of Ashik. But 4 overalls is definitely something I have to consider. If I knew, like, obviously looking back, Omar Ashik had some crazy good NBA career that we all remember, I'd probably hang on to him, let him develop a little bit. I just don't think that's the case. He is an expiring contract. If I can get a first-round pick for him, I'm definitely going to do it. If not, I'll be willing to hold on for him, maybe have him re-sign. But yeah, this deal right here with Denver where I get a first-round pick in 2012, it feels like a home run to me. This one from San Antonio. The Spurs were very good at this time. That probably doesn't make too much sense. So, yep, we're going to go ahead. We're going to do that deal there with the Denver Nuggets. Going to pick up their top 3 protected first in 2012. We get Malik Allen back as well. We give up another second. So that feels well worth it to me. We basically traded 3 players away, got 2 draft picks, and all 3 of those players weren't really going to play. So let's set the rotation. And with those moves, it is now officially the start of year 1 for us here in Chicago. In terms of this overall rotation, really didn't make any trades that are going to impact how this team actually performs. Obviously, in real life, this was a 500 team at 41-41. I'm hoping we can be a little bit better. This game does like Derrick Rose a lot. We'll see if we can make that wish come true. So obviously D Rose, our starting point guard. John Salmon's here as our starting shooting guard. Luol Deng here at the 3. Taj Gibson, I'm giving him the nod. The game actually wants me to start Tyrus Thomas. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with Taj Gibson. I think it's going to work out better in the long run for us. And obviously Joakim Noah locking down that center spot. Bench unit's going to be led by Kirk Heinrich, followed by Brad Miller. Obviously Tyrus Thomas moves to the bench. Gennaro Pargo is going to be our backup point guard, and then James Johnson getting 10 minutes a night. We'll see if we can develop him a little bit. So overall-wise, it's not a bad team. There's obviously some young guys here, so some room for development nonetheless. But I am excited to see how this team does, possibly a playoff team. We'll see. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. Year 1 comes to an end. We go 59-23 in our first season. That is actually a lot better than what I was actually hoping for. I'm really expecting, rather. As I mentioned, in real life, this team was 500. 59 wins is a huge jump from that. LeBron James is your MVP. This man nearly averaged a damn triple-double on the season. Just incredible. He looks. I'll never forget how clean those old Cavs jerseys were, man. They were just so much. They're so cool. Blake Griffin's your rookie of the year. He won it in real life as well. Actually, wouldn't have been the year after he sat out his rookie season. He was drafted in 2000. Was he 7 or 8? He was 2000. Oh, he was 9. Okay, so technically he won 2010 Rookie of the Year. Okay. He wins Rookie of the Year. Lamar Odom is your 6th man of the year. LeBron wins Defensive Player of the Year as well. Brook Lopez, most improved. Crazy to think Brook Lopez is still playing at a high level in the league. This man obviously is still a very, very good center. Obviously, he's kind of changed his game a little bit. Obviously, still a very good defensive player, but has now really been able to kind of space out the floor a little bit. Can obviously shoot the 3 ball now. Just crazy to see. I mean, this is 2009, 2010. Insane. Longevity at its finest. And 69-13 for Phil Jackson gets him Coach of the Year. Lakers are going to end up being pretty good. All right, let's take a full look at the standings right now. We finished as the 2 seed here in the Eastern Conference. That's great. Obviously, LeBron and the Cavs, Dwayne Wade and the Heat. You got Pierce, Garnett, Ray Allen over there in Boston. Over here, Los Angeles takes the 1 seed. This Western Conference was absolutely crazy at this time. Just for reference, this Oklahoma City team has Russ, KD. I mean, just absolutely insane. I'm also pretty sure, don't the Thunder have Nick Collison's number retired? That's pretty insane to think about, but I don't know. All right, let's dive into the numbers a little bit. On the year, Derrick Rose led us in scoring, followed by Luol Deng, was super solid for us as our second option. John Salmons, Kirk Heinrich, Joakim Noah, Gibson, Miller, Thomas Pargo, James Johnson. In terms of rebounds, led by Joakim Noah. Assists was Derrick Rose. So round 1, we have the 7 seed Milwaukee Bucks. Let's take a look at their roster. Brandon Jennings was a bucket back in the day. Michael Redd, Carlos Delfino, Hakeem Warwick, Andrew Bogut going strong, Luke Ridnour. Oh my God, these are some fun names. This is why I love doing historic rebuilds. Just the names alone bring me back. And we're down 3-0 right now. So that is less than ideal. And we just got swept in the first round as a 2 seed by a 7 seed. That's not what you want to do. So obviously some decisions to be made this offseason in terms of just the roster. Actually, that's funny. The Lakers and the Celtics actually met up in the finals as they did in real life. This time, KG, Pierce, Ray Allen, they do get a second ring instead of losing to Kobe and the Lakers as they did in 2010. All right, it is off-season time. Let's take a look, see what we got here. In terms of retirements, you see a couple noted players here. Ben Wallace calls it a career, one of the best defensive centers of all time. Staff retirement, you got a couple there. Historic changes. All right. Change the logo of the Jazz. Branding. I don't think there's anything too major. Anything for us here in Chicago? I really doubt it. So I'm not seeing anything, but you're going to see some logos change. And then let's hit the draft lottery. We're not going to have a lottery pick, obviously, as we did end up as a 2 seed, but interesting to see. I mean, this is the 2010 draft. This is John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Paul George, Gordon Hayward. All those fun players that ended up being pretty good. And Golden State ends up with the number 1 overall pick. Wow, that's insane. Obviously, they got Steph Curry on that roster. Do they maybe pair him up with Boogie Cousins? That'll be interesting. Staff signing, Vinny Del Negro. Yeah, those ratings aren't going to cut it for me, pal, so see ya. And then in terms of the head coach, oh my God, Pat Riley's here? I doubt he'd be interested in being a head coach, but no, I can't bring him. Could I? No, he has no interest. I would definitely like to bring in Mike D'Antoni. He has some pretty good ratings. Would he accept that? Nope. Okay. I tried. I did not mean to do that. And then let's just sort this by head coach. Bill Barry? I don't know. Byron Scott is here. Actually, some pretty decent ratings. Peter Vaughn. I thought that was Shaq for a second. Kirk Webber, Norm Carter. I'm just trying to find somebody competent. Like, I'm not seeing anything I love that's jumping out at me right now. Jim O'Brien has some decent ratings. I don't know. I mean, is this Kiki Vanderway? Oh my God. Kevin McHale is here. PJ Carlissimo. Jeff Van Gundy has great defensive ratings. That's Dwayne Casey. It is. He doesn't have great ratings, though. Cool to see some of these names. All right. We're just going to head up here. And quite honestly, Bill Barry has some good ratings, so this feels like an appropriate signing for me. I think it makes sense for us. He has probably the best ratings out of any free agent head coach, if you will. So welcome to Chicago, Bill Barry, going to be our head coach moving forward. All right, so let's get up to the draft. I know we do have our first. It is at number 26, so it's obviously not very high. Again, we can take a look at this draft class. You got Wall, you got Cousins, George, Derek Favors in here as well. I mean, if I'm going to go out and make, any sort of acquisition or trade up or anything, I mean, there's really not a position of need that I could really get in this draft. Obviously, we don't need a point guard. We have Derrick Rose. John Wall is number 1 prospect. We have a good center in Joakim Noah. We don't really need Boogie. I could move PG to the 2, maybe start him at the shooting guard spot. Other than that, there's really nothing kind of jumping out at me. So I'm thinking we honestly kind of just go with our draft pick, whoever it may be here at number 26. I don't really draft many guys late at all. Boogie actually ends up in Golden State. Wow. John Wall goes to New York. Timberwolves take Gordon Hayward. Louis Barrett. Oh my God, Paul George slid all the way to 6. Sacramento got a steal. I don't even know. Ish Smith is here. I mean, we actually are looking for a potential replacement at the backup point guard option. I have no idea who Warren McCormick is. I don't know. Brad Davis. I mean, we know Ish Smith ended up being, a long-term NBA player. I mean, he just won a championship this past year with the Denver Nuggets. To be fair, I mean, Ish Smith gets passed around like a blunt, but he's a very, very solid NBA role player, long-term NBA role player. So Ish Smith's going to be my pick. Welcome to Chicago. Again, excited to see how that kind of works out for us. He's a 72 overall. Hopefully he can develop well enough to be an actual rotation piece for me. So, all right, qualifying offers. I will qualify Tyrus Thomas. I think he's probably going to be a good bench piece for me. Ernest McGuire, yeah, probably not at that 41 overall. We'll probably pass on that. So let's enter free agency. If you remember back reading the story, there was actually a possibility. And this story actually has been circulating a little bit lately. This is the 2010 offseason. There were rumors that LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh all could have ended up in Chicago. Obviously, that didn't happen. They all ended up going to Miami together, winning a couple championships. But just crazy to think that this was an actual possibility. I forget, what was the exact... There was some trade that held up the deal. But that would have been absolutely insane. Now, I obviously have some interest in going after some of these guys. I mean, they would be huge upgrades and huge additions. And I actually have some money, but I definitely have a free agent here that I'm just not thinking about. Yeah, it's John Salmons, Brad Miller, and also Tyrus Thomas. So, obviously, I'm going to lose somebody if I go out and sign one of these guys. I think it's well worth it. I would love to make an offer for Dwayne Wade, have him come here and play in Chicago. That would obviously be great, but I think Miami's probably going to get him back. But quite honestly, I'm going to make an offer for all 3 of these guys. I think it would be absolutely idiotic not to do so. So, we're going to throw a max offer at LeBron James. That's what that is right there. We're going to do the same thing here for Dwayne Wade. And then, yeah, I mean, I'll do it for Bosh as well. He was an incredible player at this point in time. So I doubt any of them accept it, but it'll be interesting to see nonetheless. Oh, my God. We got LeBron James. Holy shit. Okay, well, we got LeBron. We also actually got, Chris Bosh accepted our offer. What it comes down to now is, can I clear up the cap space to get him? I don't know how much it is per year. I forget what that is. That's 54.86. I should have remembered this off the top of my head. It's about $18 million a year. So I have to clear up about 15 plus million if I wanted to go out and maybe sign both of these guys. Now, I could do that pretty easily by trading Kirk Heinrich and probably Luol Deng, but we're going to lose a lot of depth. But honestly, Luol Deng might get traded anyways. So I might find a way to hang with me for a second. We're going to try to work on this deal here with the Los Angeles Clippers. We're going to try to trade Luol Deng for Eric Gordon. Craig Smith's in here to make the money work. And honestly, actually, I can throw in Sebastian Telfair. Well, same trade value. But nonetheless, they want Ish Smith, who we just drafted, our first next year top 3 protected. They're going to give me their unprotected first the year after. We're doing this deal. Eric Gordon's going to slide in the shooting guard spot. I'm trading for him because he doesn't make a lot of money. Hang with me. I have a plan. So we're doing that trade. That feels like a really good first deal. At this point in time, we still need to dump some money because we need to clear up a lot of cap space, go out and get LeBron James and Chris Bosh. So I think Kirk Heinrich definitely has to go still at this point in time. I'll take just a first-round pick. That's fine. Again, I don't need any money coming back. They're going to trade me Eddie Curry, who I don't think is going to have any value. That is kind of a salary dump, but it's just going to be hard to move that Eddie Curry contract. So I'm not seeing anything else I love. We're going to do this here with the Pistons, take their first-round pick, and then we're just going to keep clearing up cap space. Like Chris Wilcox, somebody please, just thank you very much. Memphis, and then, yeah, it's probably one more deal. Sebastian Telfair is going to have to go. I'm sorry. Just thank you very much, Cleveland. All right, is that... No, my God, no. Do we have enough money? That's $21 million, $3 million right there. Oh, my God. I mean, we just signed LeBron James and Chris Bosh. Now, it sucks losing like Salmons, Miller, and Tyrese Thomas, but I think I'll be able... Oh, that's Dwayne Wade going to the Heat. I thought I was going to say one of them matched the deal. I think I'll get over it. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, now both members of the Chicago Bulls. This team is fucking insane. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. I mean, I'm just kind of at a loss for words right now. I mean, I just got to kind of figure out how this is all going to work in terms of the depth on this team. We obviously don't have a ton of money, so yeah, I don't need Jason Collins. So I'm rethinking 9-man rotation. I think James Johnson's going to get moved for some sort of backup guard. I don't know who that's going to be. Kendrick Perkins actually isn't a horrible option. I know it's funny to look back and kind of clown on Kendrick Perkins, but actually wasn't a terrible option at this point in time. Unless I see a guard, because we do need a backup center. Unless I see a guard that I think could be really impactful, I think Kendrick Perkins is going to be my guy. So thank you very much, Boston. Thank you for that deal. Perkins is going to be backing up Joakim Noah. We're good at the backup power forward spots. We need a backup point guard, backup shooting guard. Honestly, I don't know what to say. Tony Allen, let's bring in some defense. Or would I prefer the shooting of Kyle Korver? You know what? I'm going to prefer the shooting of Korver. I think he'd be a really big addition to this team. I really do. All right. Welcome, hopefully. Welcome, Kyle Korver. Then in terms of backups here, I guess we'll bring back Jannero, Pargo, whatever. It is what it is. Oh, my God. I mean, just absolutely. This was a 2-seed last year. Although we lost in round 1 in a really embarrassing fashion, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Derrick Rose. That's our new big 3. This should be a championship caliber team without a doubt. See you guys at the start of year 2. After an absolutely insane offseason where we had 2 superstar signings, we are finally here at the start of year 2 in Chicago. This team is absolutely insane. There's no other words to describe this group. Derrick Rose, Eric Gordon, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Joakim Noah. Beautiful. The bench unit's okay. It's going to be led by Kyle Korver, Kendrick Perkins, Taj Gibson, Jannero, Pargo. So, again, it's not great, but it's doable. But with this starting 5, the sky's the limit. It truly is. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. We wrap up year 2 in Chicago, and LeBron James is your MVP. It is a bowl-winning MVP. Derrick Rose won it in real life. LeBron gets it done for us this year. We went 73-9, by the way, which technically would have been the best record in NBA history because the Warriors hadn't happened yet. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Okay, DeMarcus Cousins, Rookie of the Year. He's in Golden State, so him and Steph Curry are matched up. Mario Martinez, 6th Man of the Year. I'm not going to lie, I don't really know who this is, but he's undrafted and he's in Miami, so I'm assuming he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. That's how the undrafted players work in Miami. Gerald Wallace is your DPOY. JaVale McGee, Most Improved. Bill Berry, our head coach, wins Coach of the Year after winning 73 games. So let's take a full look at the standings right now. We're 13 games up on the Orlando Magic for the 1 seed here in the East, and then Dallas takes the 1 seed over there in the West with 60 wins. Let's take a look at the numbers right now. LeBron, D. Rose, Bosh, all over 20 points a game, or well, 20 or more points a game. Just absolutely insane. Eric Gordon was good. Kyle Korver off the bench. Joakim Noah, Perkins. This team just came together beautifully. It really did. I mean, I have no other way to describe it. LeBron was just absolutely insane for us. So we have the Wizards here in round 1. Gilbert Arenas got 8-0. Nick Young, Lanas Kliza, Andre Blatch, JaVale McGee. It's a decent team. I just don't think this is a gotcha. Oh, they actually won game 1. That's pretty crazy. Moving on to the Miami Heat. Obviously, in real life, you know, LeBron, Chris Bosh ended up in Miami next to Dwayne Wade. This time, that did not happen, so D-Wade is kind of riding solo in Miami, albeit he does have a championship already. LeBron and Bosh do not, but we're going to see if we can make that change this year. We go up 3-0 in Miami. They make it 3-1. They make it 3-2, and we do end up winning in 6. Orlando here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously, a prime Dwight Howard. You got Vince Carter, Jameer Nelson in the backcourt, Josh Howard, Rashard Lewis, J.J. Redick off the bench. This is not an easy Eastern Conference Finals, but that being said, I think we are just a lot better than them. Up 3-1, win in 5. And it is us against Dirk in Dallas here in the NBA Finals. Oh my God, they have Shaq here. Shaq never actually ended up playing in Dallas. It felt like he played pretty much in all kind of the big market teams, but never in Dallas. But we are going to see if we can maybe win a championship here, bring one to Chicago. So we're up 3-1 right now. Can we close them out here in Chicago in Game 5? That would obviously be great. Just a kind of a great way to cap off year 2, and it looks like we're going to be doing it. I'd love to get some gameplay with this team. I'll see you guys in there. Just over 3 minutes left to go here in a closeout Game 5 in Chicago. We are feeling very, very good at this point in time, and why wouldn't we be? I just screwed that one up. But, yeah, man, this is just so crazy, because obviously this was kind of a what-if in real life, and I think, if my memory serves me correctly, that the rumor was that this was for the entirety of the big 3, not... Shit, that's on me. Not just like 2 of the 3. I think it was all of them. So if we would have somehow had like a team, and again, I don't know if... Oh my God, that's Shaq. I don't know exactly. I'm assuming they probably would have had to trade somebody, but if just imagine the starting 5: Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Joakim Noah. Now, I don't know if they'd have the money to do actually all of that, but just an insane concept to kind of think about. We fouled Dirk, and the Mavericks are low-key kind of cooking me right now, but this was like a real possibility, and I forget the exact trade that held it up, but absolutely wild to think about. Obviously, we're going to be winning a championship here, hopefully more than one throughout this video, but just absolutely wild. LeBron's got 35, 8, and 3 on the night. That's bananas, but it's so cool to just kind of see this, man. Even, LeBron in a Chicago Bulls jersey, Chris Bosh in one. Obviously, we ended up seeing Dwayne Wade in a Bulls jersey eventually. To be fair, he wasn't exactly in his prime when that happened, but cool nonetheless. So let's see if we can do something here with D Rose. I'm assuming it's probably LeBron's MVP in terms of finals MVP, but still cool to see. Rose, 3, that's not going in. So Noah, rebound, nope. I'm bricking his release. I don't know his release well at all. Jason Kidd, wow. Fun times, man. I miss this. This was the NBA when I was a kid. I mean, it's just so crazy to think about. I still remember the day. I think I had to have been like, what? I think I was 10 years old at the time, but what the fuck is happening? Okay, hang on a damn minute. I feel like I remember the day. I mean, I don't know if this is just something I like faintly remember or whatever it is, but I feel like I remember the day that LeBron ended up making his decision to go to Miami. I feel like I do anyways. I don't know. I mean, I was 10, but I just have this like eerie memory, and I don't know why, but damn, man, this was such a fun time. But yeah, I mean, in terms of this Chicago team, everything would have been totally different. Obviously, you have to, hope and pray that, in a different hypothetical scenario that maybe Derrick Rose doesn't, get injured as much as he does, man. It's, again, one of kind of the biggest what-ifs, but prime Derrick Rose was so fun to watch. Let's see if we can cook up Jason Kidd here a little bit. Oh my God, he's doing it. Oh my God, D Rose throwing down the hammer. Absolutely cooking. Yeah, was that Sean Marion he just fucking dunked on? Holy shit. All right, we'll do one more possession. Obviously, we still have a third season, so I don't want to take up too much time here, but Jason Kidd just going to kick it over. I do want to use LeBron a little bit, so I'm going to kind of play point LeBron after this, get him the ball. Chris Bosh going to not really get much use in today's gameplay, but okay, so LeBron's not even here. He's already down the court. All right, let's just do one of these and do one of these, and yeah, we're just going to go back out here. LeBron's got 35 on the night, as I mentioned. I want a screen. Thank you, Chris Bosh. Come give it to me. Down the lane, LeBron James. No foul call, nothing. Damn, I can't end on that. That's shitty. Just shoot. Jason Terry, take the 3. Thank you, Jet. Take the damn 3. He hits it. All right, I mean, this game, I would say, is still out of reach with 1:14 to go, but I still want to use LeBron. LeBron, can you, come here and do something for me? Just go all over Sean Marion. Oh, my God. This is not going well. Easy jump shot. Okay, holy shit. I'm actually blowing. You know what? There we go. I want point LeBron here. I want to get an actual pick for LeBron, and we're going to make this work. So Chris Bosh, come this way. Dirk Nowitzki is not covering LeBron. This is what I'm talking about. Gets the foul. All right, I'm not sitting through free throws. I'll see you guys in the Finals MVP. We end up winning it all here in year 2, and LeBron James is your Finals MVP. This technically would have been his first championship, and it is in Chicago. Crazy to see. All right, final offseason. In terms of major moves, there's probably not much. Shaq calls it a career at age 39. Jason Kidd, they both go out losing a Finals. That's kind of sucky, but is what it is. In terms of Hall of Fame, Grant Hill, Jason Kidd, Shaq, really no surprises. Jersey retirements, the same 3. Historic changes, you're changing some things for the New York Knicks and the Washington Wizards. Cool. All right, draft lottery. I saw a Bulls logo. I don't know exactly where that's from. That's from Cleveland. I don't know if it had any sort of protections on it. It does not, so we have the 12th overall selection. This is the 2011 draft class. I'm sure you all know it well. Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, Kemba Walker, Jimmy. I'm pretty sure Klay Thompson's in here as well. I mean, I wouldn't mind maybe going after somebody. Klay's actually the second-rated DE prospect. That's pretty crazy. I love how he wouldn't have even been Enes Freedom at this time. He still would have been Cantor. You know what? It's the final year, and I wouldn't mind trading up for one of those guys for a depth piece. So, I mean, we could use a new backup point guard. I'm kind of fine with Kyle Korver. Maybe could use a new backup center. I don't really know. I mean, there's not really many centers here that I would really want. So, you know, let's just trade up to like the 4th overall pick. Who is number 4? Let's just look. Number 4 is owned by the Sacramento Kings. So kind of take whatever you want. It's the final year. In terms of number 4, I mean, we also do have number 12, so I went the wrong way. So we have a little bit of a trade asset at least. And then number 4, Sacramento Kings. So I will give you number 12. I will also give you number 18. And then how about this? Will you do that? Nope. You want my first next year? It's probably not going to be very valuable. Did not mean to do that. How about you take a Clippers first? Okay, cool. We have the 4th overall pick. I have no idea who it's going to be. We will see, though. So let's sim all the way up to the draft right now and just see who's available for us here. So number 1, Indiana on the clock. They take Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was actually drafted by the Pacers in real life, funny enough, but hopefully they keep him this time. Number 2, Klay Thompson goes to, well, I guess it would technically still be New Jersey. Wow, funny enough, the Warriors had number 3. Maybe Klay could have ended up there if he fell one more. Who? I don't fucking know. All right, so we have our choice here between Kyrie Irving and Jimmy Butler. I mean, that's basically the only 2 options for me that I see realistically. I mean, Kemba had a great career. I just don't see him in terms of the tiers of Kyrie and Jimmy Butler. So, I mean, I have a decision. I mean, do I want a new backup point guard, which arguably I do need. Obviously, Kyrie went number 1 overall in real life. Jimmy Butler didn't go until much later. He was what? I forget exactly what number he was, but it's basically, do I want to, give LeBron a new backup, which I think is maybe not the worst idea in the world, but it also would be cool kind of seeing Kyrie and LeBron play together. You know what, screw it. We're going to get Kyrie Irving here. He's going to be the backup to Derrick Rose, probably the best kind of 1-2 punch in terms of guards, or excuse me, point guards you've ever seen. He's already an 80 overall as well. Team player options, Eric Gordon definitely coming back, qualifying Joakim Noah. Cannot let him leave. This is we're fucked if he leaves. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and qualify him. It is the final year. I actually wouldn't mind bringing back Perkins. He's still relatively young and a pretty solid contributor. So, we're bringing him back. We're going to let Pargo go just because, obviously, we just drafted Kyrie Irving. And, yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't really see anything major for this team. I mean, I'm pretty much comfortable with everything. So, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to make any other changes. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final season. Fresh off a championship, it is the final season for us here in Chicago. This team is fucking insane. Derrick Rose, Eric Gordon, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Joakim Noah. Bench unit's going to be led by rookie Kyrie Irving, Kendrick Perkins, Kyle Korver, and Taj Gibson. It's only a 9-man rotation. We have Lou Admonson, I don't know, Damon Jones, DeMar Johnson. I mean, just rotation pieces that I'll probably never play, but mind-bogglingly good team. I love it. I'll see you guys at the end of the final year. It is yet another MVP for LeBron James, his 3rd of the video, his 2nd in Chicago. We once again go 73-9, technically tying our best record in NBA history. I don't know. Kawhi Leonard wins Rookie of the Year in Indiana. He went number 1 overall. Lamar Odom, 6th Man of the Year in LA. Gerald Wallace is your D-Point once again. Paul George, most improved in his 2nd season. Bill Barry, 2nd straight Coach of the Year. So we are just absolutely on top of the world right now. I quite honestly don't think there's a team that can touch us. Lakers are obviously still going to be great with Kobe, but my God almighty, I think we have too much talent. That being said, I hope we meet up with the Lakers. We never got a LeBron and versus Kobe finals, and it would be pretty cool to see, even if it's just in 2K. Here's a look at the numbers. Feel free to pause if you wish. We have Milwaukee in round 1. Actually beat us in round 1 in year 1, but our team is a little bit different now. They do have Kyle Lowry at the starting point guards, but we sweep them. Thanks for coming. All right, moving on to Atlanta. Jeff Teague, Joe Johnson, Marvin Williams, Josh Smith, Al Horford. This team was fun. Jamal Crawford off the bench. Dude, I'll laugh my ass off because there are so many players that aren't really in the league anymore that hype themselves up way more than they deserve to be hyped up. Enes Kanter, Freedom, whatever the fuck sort of term he calls himself these days, is one of those players. Jeff Teague has a podcast or goes on. I think it's his own podcast. I don't know. No, he goes on a podcast, I think. I don't know. Whatever it is, whatever podcast Jeff Teague has been talking on recently, this man talks like he was a scrub. Jeff Teague was a really solid player for a pretty good while. Now, obviously, later into his career, he ended up being kind of a role, kind of a bench piece. But Jeff Teague was no bum. There are some players out there that talk about themselves like they were way better than they actually were. Jeff Teague kind of does the opposite. I don't know. I think Jeff Teague should be, I don't know, look a little bit in the mirror. I mean, he was pretty damn good for a while. I don't know. We're up 2-1 right now. We make it 3-1, and we end up winning in 5. We have Miami here in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know who Marion Martinez is, but this dude is just insane, apparently. But yeah, there's just no way this team's even touching us. It's just not going to happen. And oh my God, I didn't realize the Lakers lost in round 1. So we're matching up here with the Spurs. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Donnell Harvey, DeJuan Blair, Timmy D starting at center, get George Hill off the bench. All right, I mean, they're good. I don't know if this team can really hold our jockstrap. Quite honestly. Winning 5, LeBron wins his 2nd straight finals MVP. Maybe a little foreshadowing of what could have possibly happened if LeBron actually ended up in Chicago. I have no idea why Joakim Noah's all hurt. Probably a shot tendency, but who gives a shit? We won 2 straight championships. So absolutely insane. I mean, quite honestly, going into this video, I didn't really exactly plan out kind of signing LeBron and Chris Bosh. It just kind of worked out that way, and I'm glad it did. I really did enjoy this video, so hopefully you guys did as well. As always, you guys got any other video ideas, let me know them down below in the comment section. We are pretty much 3 weeks away from 2K24, and I am very, very much looking forward to it. So, as always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.